Welcome back to Breaking Point on Real America's Voice News. We have a lot of really important content today that we've been discussing, and everybody needs to wake up and pay attention. Your free speech is being taken away from you. The media is complicit with the executive branch, the legislative branch of the U.S. government. There's a lot of threats coming our way, and there's also exterior threats, from China, maybe Russia. But we have to be awake, and we have to know what's going on in our country. Like, are our intelligence agencies being used to spy on Americans? Is the military going to act against, the new DOD secretary is talking about weeding out white nationalists in the military and whatever, So I want to welcome to the show the wonderful Eric Greitens. He's the host of Actionable Intelligence on Real America's Voice News. You got to check his show out every day. He's a former Missouri governor. He's a retired Navy SEAL. Eric Greitens, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, David, it is awesome to be on with you and the whole crew at Breaking Point, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's really exciting what's going on at Real America's Voice News. The lineup is phenomenal, and everybody's a big brain. And I'm just a businessman from New York. You guys are like on another level. You served in the military. We've got people who know what's going on. It's really great, and I feel like we're the only ones telling the truth out there.
Well, it's one of the things that is exciting. You touched on this cancel culture from the left. They want to go after individuals. What they're also trying to do is to shut down conservative media. But the team at Real America's Voice, the team at justthenews.com, we keep fighting every single day to bring people the stories that the mainstream media doesn't want to cover, and to also make sure that they're getting the perspectives and the insight from the voices that big tech and the left want to silence. We're not going to be silenced, David. We're going to stay strong.
You know what? Between the War Room and everybody on this network, it's a wealth of nation, wealth of information. My mother-in-law is glued to Real America's Voice News 24/7. Yes. It's unbelievable. She keeps texting me like, "Oh my God, that was great." So, but we have some real serious issues here, right? We've got the fourth estate, the media, in bed with the government, and there's a cancel culture. And they're snuffing out conservative voices, banning them from Twitter permanently and social media.
Right.
But one thing that really concerns me is our U.S. intelligence agencies, which like the CIA wasn't ever allowed to go after Americans on our soil and track them. And, and now there's like 20 intelligence agencies out there. Are we using intelligence against our own people?
Well, first, David, let me pick up on that first piece you touched on, which is the cancel culture, because it is so important. I think all of your viewers need to recognize that this is one of the things that the left does. It's part of their strategy. Why do they want to cancel people? Why do they want to silence people? Because they can't win the argument on the facts, right? You'd say if they thought David Zere's wrong, David Zere's facts are wrong, what he's saying about coronavirus and all the businesses shutting down in New York City, if you were wrong, then they'd say, you know what? I like David Zere. He's a good guy. I'm willing to come on and debate him on the facts. But the left, instead, what they want to do is they want to call people names. They want to deplatform them. They want to cut their voices off because they can't win on the facts. If the left could win on the facts, they'd say, hey, all of these conservatives are just wrong, and we're going to be able to show you how. But the fact is they don't have the evidence on their side. And you know what? When you look at what's happening around the country, and especially in Washington, D.C., I mean, you touched on the military and the way Biden is using them. You had Joe Biden at his inauguration get up and talk. There was this rhetoric of we the people. And all Americans need to come together, except what happened? He had these giant fences up. He had barbed wire. He had razor wire to keep the American people away from his inauguration. It's not right. That's not who the United States of America is. Yeah. The United States Capitol is the people's house.
Yeah, with no known threats. Right? And they're still down there.
Yes. And David, that's what's so important. You touched on this with intelligence agencies. Okay, you've got thousands of troops in Washington, D.C., Thousands of troops are there, big fences, razor wire. Where's the threat? And no one in the Biden administration has come out and said, this is what the threat is. This is why we're keeping Americans away. This is why we've put up a wall. This is why there's razor wire. The American people deserve an answer, and the Biden administration has not provided it.
Yeah, and as a conservative myself, we never want to silence the left. We want the free and open exchange of ideas.
Yes.
We aren't afraid, to go and battle it. That's why Rush Limbaugh's so powerful and Sean Hannity's so popular and all these people, because they tapped into the well of the silent majority and the left couldn't contain them. But anytime a leftist-oriented person gets a TV or radio show, their ratings aren't good.
Right.
And so we're like, but we're not trying to silence them. And they're trying to shut us down completely. But at what point, Atlas Shrugged, right, in the book, and Ayn Rand, whose family escaped the Russian Revolution. They got rid of all the business owners and the producers and the people who build the railroads and all the stuff. Like, at what point are we going to kind of go off the cliff here?
Yeah, David, look, I served as a U.S. Navy SEAL, did 4 deployments in the global war on terrorism. I fought for everyone's constitutional rights to freedom of speech, to freedom of expression. And that's true as for every American, whether you are a conservative, a liberal, a Republican, a Democrat, everyone has those constitutional rights. They come from God, and they are for every citizen. And like you said, we're happy to talk with the left and debate them on the facts. In fact, we'll invite them. I'll make this offer. You bring them on to Breaking Point. I'll be happy to come on and go toe to toe with them. We'll bring them out into the deep water of the facts and talk about what's really happening. Yes, freedom of expression should be there for everybody, but what you're seeing is this collusion between big tech and the left trying to shut down conservative voices. And that's why it's so important for all of your viewers to stay strong, to watch programs like yours, to make sure that they're letting their friends know that they're getting good information from places like justthenews.com.
Yeah, Trump supporters are being tired of told, they're tired of being told that they're terrorists and ISIS and Al-Qaeda-like, I lost one of my best friends in 9/11. In New York on Long Island here, we lost 490 Long Islanders. It's very sensitive for us, and my family is in the JTTF and have been fighting terrorism for 20 years, and it's like such an insult, right? It's such an insult. It's so degrading and debasing, just like the comments in the impeachment trial. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. And David, keep in mind, and all of your viewers are seeing this, and Americans are smart and they see through what the left is doing. If you can beat somebody in a debate, then go out and beat them in the debate. If the facts are on your side, Nancy Pelosi, then come out and win on the facts. If the facts are on your side, big tech, come out and win on the facts. But instead, the facts aren't on their side, so what do they want to do? They want to insult people. They want to criticize people. They want to silence people. That is what the left is doing again and again. And obviously, it's insulting, but in some ways, for our viewers, for conservatives, for people who are just patriots who believe in these basic cornerstone American values of freedom of speech and freedom of expression, in some ways it's heartening because what it tells you is that the left knows they can't actually win the argument.
Well, Eric, I want to thank you for coming on. Tell our viewers where and when they can watch your show on Real America's Voice News.
Absolutely. Well, David, first of all, would love to have everybody. You can follow me at Eric Greitens. That's at EricGreitens. We love being on all of the Real America's Voice shows, and absolutely tune in every day. It's a great team here, and you've got a great show, David. Proud to be on with you on Breaking Point.
Yeah, thank you so much. It means a lot coming from you, and thank you for your service. All right, Eric?
Hoo-yah. Yes, sir. Talk to you soon.
Wonderful. Everybody, Eric Greitens, the host of Actionable Intelligence on Real America's Voice News. He's the former Missouri governor, retired Navy SEAL. This is a really important discussion that we're having today. Our hardworking, loyal, the forgotten man. Trump said, there's a forgotten man who lets his crews out of the gate every morning at 4 or 5 in the morning. Air conditioner contractors, framers, builders, people are small businesses, restaurants, they're up at 3 in the morning making potato salad in the deli. They're forgotten. there's no representation for them. And the gravitas of this federal, state, and local pension system for public employees is out of control. And sometimes their incomes, are 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 times what the average American makes. And that's really what this fight is about. It's against institutional bureaucracy. And I commend civil service workers, but there's things that are out of hand. And we have to, speak out for the little guy. This is David Zere. We come back. We have David Lipsky from Our Freedom Book. Thank you.